July is a time in the garden where things can really get away from you in a big, huge hurry. We have been having really wonderful storms every single night for about a week, which is great, but that cuts into my late afternoon, early evening gardening time, which is when I usually come out and try to get a lot of work done in the garden, because I'm not necessarily an early morning person. So we just had a huge rainstorm, and I think we're supposed to get rain later this evening. So I'm out here, and I figured it's a good time to tidy a few things up. I was out earlier yesterday and the day before really cleaning out some things in my main garden here and planting some new rounds of beans and some new rounds of squash. But I'm out here among my exterior garden with all my flowers, and I have a whole lot of Monarda that really needs to be cut back. Let me show you how to cut your Monarda back so you can keep it blooming for a second flush later in the summer. You can work with this one. Here is a flower that's just about done, and I want to follow the stem down to here, and I'm going to cut it just above the next set of leaves. Now it's hard to see. See if I can move this a little closer for you. You could see the very beginnings of new leaves coming out right here. You can also see them coming and peeping out right there, that light green bit. Let me show you one that's already coming out. You can see how it was cut right here, and right below there's new growth here, and below that, two new blooming shoots coming out right here. This is a stand of Monarda that I cut back earlier this week, and you can see that I still have a couple of flowers on here. All right, let's go over here and tackle this stand of Monarda. You can see how there's some that are still blooming, some that are done. So I'm going to take the ones that are done, cut them back, and I'm just dropping them onto the ground. You know, I'm feeling they're gonna end up just regenerating, turning into compost and fertilizing that part of the land. Okay, cutting just back. It looks like a daunting task, but it's kind of meditative, and if you really can't stand doing something repetitive, just get a podcast or an audiobook or something like this. Now this one is all the way done. You can see that this one is just completely dead. See how it's hollow on the inside? Just pull that off. You can see that I also have echinacea, and you can do exactly the same thing with your echinacea plants. None of these are really done yet, so I'm not going to do anything to this particular plant. But once these echinacea begin to die back, you just take it back to the next one, or you can even take it a little bit further back to cut the plant back a little bit so it doesn't get quite so sprawly. So I'm just going to carry on with this task, continue to cut back this plant. Obviously, I have a whole lot more to get here. I'm going to come out a little bit later. I want to go in and make some supper. And I also need to come and tie this back because it's going everywhere. It was good to get in there because you always find things like weeds and other things that are hidden down in there. And this one it's a native, but it grows like a weed. And it definitely can propagate and take all over your garden. So I'm happy to get this out of here. I'm happy to have it grow out in the wild, but I didn't really want it spreading its seed right in my flower garden and competing with my gorgeous Monarda and my echinacea and all those pretty things. So yeah, it's good to get in here. I'm going to have a whole second flush of this beautiful Monarda. The thing I love about growing Monarda is you're always going to find all sorts of pollinators all over it. Butterflies, moths, bees of all sizes, and these wonderful, wonderful little hummingbird moths. They look like baby hummingbirds, but they're really moths. So get out there and tame that jungle, because it's going to be a jungle now for the next couple of months. Do a little bit at a time so you don't get overwhelmed. That's a really important thing. Enjoy your garden. Thank you so much for watching. Look, I even have some for my house. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye. All right, can I get the rest of this done tonight before dinner? I'm hearing rumbles of thunder over there. I think I'll do a little bit.